Hey guys, it's a quick overview of what Chapter 2 is going to be like. Just a really quick and dirty chapter that we're going to get through. I like to call it our vegetable unit. It's one of those have-tos, but it's one of those that we're definitely going to rock out. So it is a research paper unit, but again, the whole class is geared around what are the word tools that we use. How do they help us in the business world? So yes, we're going to do the format on the research paper, but it's more so about if we were to create a marketing plan or a business plan or a design guide or a company profile document, what are some ways to make it look very professional and just make it so it looks like this has been done outside of a school environment. So as you can see here, some things I want to point out. You're going to make sure that you have your ruler open. So again, you're going to go view and then click on ruler. This is going to be very important because these little things that I'm going to pay very close attention to as we do it. Okay. The first of which will be obviously up here is going to be called the header. Okay, so all the way up here at the top is going to be header, and it goes last name and then page number. You don't type 1 or the page number. You're going to insert page number, and that in the instructions through the walkthrough, that's going to help you out. But the next thing would come the heading, and that is your name, the professor or teacher's name, the class name, and then the date that it was written. Then you're going to hit enter. You're going to go to center, and this is actually the title of the document. And then you hit enter, and this is where it becomes very important. As you see here, the beginning of the paragraph starts with what's called a first line indent. So if I let my mouse hover over this word or this symbol here, you're going to see that it says first line indent. Later on, we do the works cited. We're going to put in what's called a hanging indent, which is that second one where we're going to swap them by each other. I like to call them the home plate or triangles, however you want to look at them, but that's something very important. This document you can see here, though, some of the things I've kept on here, it's going to be normal style, Times New Roman size 12. We're going to do double space. We want to make sure there's no spacing after the paragraph or before the paragraph. And some of that stuff, if you can remember, we want to make sure it doesn't say remove. If it says remove, that means it's there. If it says add, it means that we need to put it there. So in this case, I'm good. I don't have any spacing. But now if you look, I have pretty big spacing right here. So I bet if I go back up here to home and I go here to this, I'm going to have remove spacing. So that will make it so it's there. But everything else that you see is Times New Roman size 12, double space, that is kind of going forward. And as I go down here, some things you're going to run into, we don't type this citation in. It is actually going to be a reference that we're going to put in. In this case, it's going to be a citation. And you can notice here, this is my citations I've already put in. So you'll learn throughout the walkthrough what that's going to be. And then when you get down to here, this is called a footnote. Okay, footnote is very important for what we're going to move on to when we deal with business documents. This case is something that needs to be further explained or added to the reader, but doesn't really fit the flow of what the whole document is. But if you look here, our footnote matches number 1 down here, where it just talks about furthermore or whatever that footnote's referencing. In this case, it also down here has a citation. I'm going to fast forward down here, kind of look, our header says our last name in page 2, not page 1. If we would have typed 1 at the top, the rest of the 9,000, however many pages we would type, it would have our last name in page 1. The last thing you're going to see here, this document always will end with a works cited page, and it needs to always be on its own separate page. The citations will always be in alphabetical order, and they will always need to have what's called a hanging indent. So I left my ruler from where I was clicked up top. It has a first line indent. When I click right here, you're going to notice, once I click on the word Chamberlain, you're going to notice how these two literally swap. Okay, because now it's what's called a hanging indent of a ½ inch. And that's the correct formatting for doing a works cited page. So with that being said, this was a quick overview of Chapter 2. I'm going to have a more detailed explanation on how to do the citations. I'm going to have a better explanation on how to do the footnotes and why those are important, as well as just overall what the page should look like. So with that being said, again, this is the overview. You're ready to start the walkthrough. Pay attention to the blue heading of the font in the word or the document, as well as the red bullet points, and obviously look at the pictures. Look at the red boxes within the instructions, as this will be your guide throughout the chapter. This walkthrough is kind of important because, again, this is one of our main units that is a very important unit for as a dual credit class. So this is one that I feel like we're going to knock it out, but at the same time we do have to make sure we are doing it perfectly. Anything else, just let me know. Take care.